Welcome to Kwesi Bowl TV. Thank you so much for coming back to Kwesi Bowl TV. I appreciate you guys. Please share, subscribe, like, agree or disagree. Please leave a comment. We appreciate you guys joining us. We're just going to jump in. This is a World Cup review. We have Argentina versus Saudi Arabia, Tunisia versus Denmark, and of course, we have France and Australia. Not forgetting Poland versus Mexico. So let's ride on, guys. Let's go. Argentina versus Saudi. This game, I mean, everybody thought that this was going to be a massacre, minimum of 4 or 5 goals. Little do people know that Saudi had a whole different plan. I mean, first of all, we need to talk about their coach. You know, for the people who are on the continent, knows about Hervé Renard, the man with the white shirt. This is a guy who can simplify a football game for a team so that they could come up on top. They are usually the underdog. Zambia, for example. He made the game so simple for the Saudi that Argentina had no plan. And probably in their head, you could say they underestimated Saudi Arabia, but Saudi Arabia had a plan. They had a plan. These days, tactics is the way of the future when it comes to football. One-man football is dying out. For some of the purists, that's not what they want. They want that Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Messi is still there. If Messi wants to move on to the next round, he has to play at the Maradona level. Now, some people may say, they lost on purpose so that they will have to miss Brazil in the middle of the knockout, say semifinal somewhere. But let's go on this match. This match, first half, 1-0. Messi scores a penalty kick. The game nowadays, FIFA is trying to ref these games as precise as possible. So they're using a lot of technology, and the VAR is on top shelf. A lot of cameras around the stadium. So the penalty kick is a penalty. I don't care what you say. They're going to give that. Messi plays it, go. Second half comes in. We're thinking, okay, the onslaught is about to start. Saudi Arabia have done very well by holding off Argentina. A lot of offside goals. They're doing a high line. I'm pretty sure Klopp is sitting there smiling saying, I'm very proud of these guys. Because Saudi Arabia high line was ridiculous. Liverpool-esque. Second half started 5 minutes into the second half, and Saleh Al-Shariri, if I'm butchering his name, I apologize, score a beautiful goal. I mean, it wasn't ball end up in the box and somebody just kicking around and then end up being the net. No, this is a very well-crafted ball, straight from the midfield, well transitioned through defense to midfield to the attack. Goal. 5 minutes later, guess what? Another goal from Salem Ad-Dassari. And this guy's shot was ridiculous. It curved around Martinez and he couldn't catch it. Their midfielders were crazy. Yasser Al-Sharari played very well. Abdoulaye Al-Malik played very well. Their defender that I want to give a shout out to, who's claiming that he pocketed Messi, what's his name? Hassan Al-Tambakti. Crazy, crazy, crazy defender. His tackles were always on point and right on the money. Their goalie, Mohamed Al-Awais, was on point too. This guy was focused. He was not planning on losing today. So this match was very, very exciting. What it has done, it has opened up the group for so much excitement. Usually we expecting a World Cup where Argentina will just go through, Brazil go through, or France. These big boys will just go through it. But this one, because they lost, has allowed a lot of things to happen. And I'll give you one. Denmark and Tunisia today, which is part of the group, end up drawing 0-0. So what happens? Now, both of them needs a win. Denmark wants to beat Saudi, but they don't want to lose to Argentina. Tunisia will probably want to beat Saudi and don't want to lose to Argentina. Argentina needs to beat both to make it out of the group. Saudi needs one more draw to get 4 points and possibly make it to the knockout stages. So this group has become more exciting. Denmark, I'm transitioning to the Denmark and Tunisia game. I'm very, very impressed with the Tunisia boys because Denmark is a very good team. They are a dark horse where they could hurt any big team on their day. Tunisia, the way I was watching the match, one thing maybe they don't have is a final third potency, right? But retention of the ball, they didn't feel fazed by any press that was coming from Denmark. They were very controlled. They had the ball being transitioned from defense to offense to midfield. I mean, I didn't feel like they were panicking or anything. It's just that they could not finish. Denmark was working hard, and Denmark is a very strong team. They also, I think their final third will be an issue for them in the latter stages. So this group has become a very exciting. This is what we want to see in the World Cup rather than we know the top two who's going to make. And I guarantee you a lot of people put Argentina and Denmark to make out the group. A lot of people's group bracket is going to be destroyed. I promise you by the next matches. We move on to L3 versus Poland. Again, Ochoa being the man of the match, saving a penalty from the main man, Lewandowski, who has never missed a penalty kick from what I can remember. But this time, he was able to stop his penalty. It was a penalty. It was a roughhousing of the defender. You know, these days with these cameras watching, they could watch it over and over, and the ref can see everything, real time and on VAR video. So personally, I looked at it and it was a foul on Lewandowski, so it was a penalty. But Ochoa didn't let him down. This game was almost identical to the the Tunisia and the Denmark match. But I think Mexico was playing. It's funny because both teams are pragmatic and they were both parking their backs basically. So there was not a lot of, attacking fun for the neutrals, but both teams did what they needed to do because guess what? It transitioned on to the next match, France versus Australia. Mexico and Poland needed 3 points. 1 point is fine, but guess what? They don't want to lose to France. Both teams, I believe, can beat Australia. Australia is not as strong like back in the day Australia where they had Cahill and them boys. They will have a hard time to beat either Mexico or Poland. Poland and Mexico, for them to move to the knockout stages will require two things. The one who's not going to lose too many goals against France and the one who's going to score more goals against Australia. And if somebody does a miracle work, they probably draw or beat France. So that's how it's going to go. France and Australia today started off with Australia scoring a beautiful goal that we were like, yo, is it going to be like the Saudi Arabia game? Because Craig Goodwin's goal was in the 9th minute and he did so well. It was a very, very workout play. The dribble, was it Hernandez or something like that, who ended up messing up his knee? His brother had to come on. And it was, it was Luca Hernandez and his brother Theo came on. But the French kept their composure because the French started with too much speed and they had no control of the ball except running it down the channels for Mbappe. And I'm going to talk about Mbappe in a little bit. But eventually when that goal went in, I'd say maybe in the 15, 20, 25 minutes, maybe within 15 to 25 minutes, the French was able to control the match. And when they were able to control the match, the goals started coming in because 2 goals came in between 5 minutes, Rabiot and Giroud. And then in the second half, of course, Giroud scored another one. The boy Kylian Mbappe played his part in scoring a goal and assisted. I want to give a shout out to Dembele because Dembele was, that's the player that everybody's been waiting for to see. He played very well. To me, and this is where I come on the Mbappe thing, I think Dembele was more creative and more dynamic than Mbappe. Mbappe was unplayable. The man is just pace and power, and he has some techie, right? He could dribble. But it felt like he was very one-dimensional because for a very, very long time, none of his crosses was going anywhere. But then the pass that Dembele gave him for him to score in the 60th minute was literally the defender right in front of Dembele, but still he was able to squeeze the ball straight into Mbappe's head and the ball went to the net. So with me, I'm like, Mbappe has the skill. He has the talent. We know he is the next big thing. But there's something missing in his game that he needs a coach like Arsene Wenger did with Thierry Henry, like Fergie did with Ronaldo, like Pep did with Messi. Haaland, now Pep is doing the same thing with Haaland, even though Haaland went to Dortmund and he got very well coach to be able to do what he's doing now. And I think Mbappe is missing that final thing that is going to make him undoubtedly the best player there is. I think he's missing it. This thing of just kicking the ball and trying to run past people. Eventually, you're going to hit the wall and you're not going to be able to run. You're going to find a player who's also as fast as you or as quick as you. And then what? His final third scoring goals is not that great. So that's what I'm saying. But in terms of him being where he's going, his ceiling, I think is way beyond Thierry Henry. So he is the next big thing. But I'm just saying, Kylian Mbappe needs to find him a coach who could sit him down and say, hey, my friend, you still missing these pieces. The way he's playing, it's not going to last. You can't keep running with pace. Eventually, you're going to turn 28. Your pace is going to be gone. Then what? That's all I'm saying. But the French did what the French do. They are the defending champions, and it seems like they have turned a corner. Usually when they win and they come back, they do some crazy things like losing to Senegal, Japan, Korea 2002. And then that foolishness they did in South Africa where they basically got kicked out of this tournament. It's good to see, Les Bleus are doing well. We all support them. And I hope that they get far in the tournament. But right now, tomorrow, we got some big hitters. It might not look palatable, might not look sexy, but Morocco and Croatia is going to be an exciting match. Trust me, Morocco is no joke. Croatia, they got legend, Modric and them boys. So this is going to be an exciting game. Germany, Japan. Germany is still rebuilding. They are in transition. It's going to be exciting. Japan is going to be good. That's all I know. Japan and Germany. Germany has a lot of young boys coming in. So young kids are coming in. They are like USA, but with more talent. Spain and Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a more mature team. Spain is also a team in transition. A lot of young players are coming with some veterans like Busquets. So this game is going to be exciting. I don't know why Enrique did not take Thiago, because that midfield needs somebody like Thiago who can coach those kids. Busquets is not it. Busquets is a legend, but he's not a Thiago brainiac. And of course, the last game will be Belgium and Canada. I'm hoping that Davis come back. We heard that he was injured, but we're hearing that there's a possibility that he might play. Belgium are in their golden ages, the downturn of their golden age. All their players are basically kind of old right now, and they had a chance to win the World Cup and they did not. So we'll see what they do. But tomorrow matches, trust me, with the way things went today, if the same thing happens tomorrow, you are in for a treat. So guys, thank you again. I appreciate you guys. Share, subscribe, like. Remember, comment, agree or disagree. Let's get this banter going, all right? Respectfully. Thank you. Kwesi Bold, Archie. Peace.